One.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I'm Shazana and now I will talk about the Malaysia's trade performance over the period from 2020 until 2025.
5.2% in the third quarter.
Malaysia's central bank attributes much of the momentum this quarter to firmer household. Manufacturing also saw firmer output, particularly in electrical and electronics.
Especially in Asia, are getting access to capital, infrastructure and education that they need to be highly productive members of the global economy. In terms of geography, it's probably one of the most fascinating economies in the world, conveniently nestled in between the globe's most active shipping routes, split between two major landmasses and circling some of the most tense waters on Earth.
To be an economic miracle, posting its biggest gains from 1980 when it had a nominal gross domestic product of only $26 billion to over $415 billion as projected by the end of 2022. A stunning increase. This has led its citizens to enjoy a per capita of over $12,000, one that is reported to be.
First, let's have a look at chart 1, overall trade performance. The chart reveals the extent of economic relation of Malaysia with the world economy. It was 2020 when the world situation happened. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic was so severe that it caused a chain of disruption and diminished demand. It resulting in a sharp decline in trade. The comeback in 2021 and 2022 could not be more impressive. There was a rapid double-digit growth in trade. The main reason behind this was the very high global demand for electrical and electronic products, chips and semiconductors as the world went digital and recovered from the lockdowns. Malaysia being a main manufacturing hub, it was the winner of this scenario. A recession or at least a stagnation was recorded in 2023. The global economic slowdown because of high inflation and the end of the E&E boom cycle were the main reason of that. From the point of view of 2024 and 2025, the trend is going back to positive but moderate growth. This is backed up by the expected new global tech upcycle and robust domestic activities. The fourth quarter prediction for 2025, if we follow the 4% growth annually assumption, we can see the total trade export and import continuing downwards. There is positive growth. The main pillar of support will be the global tech sector, which is expected to be a source of sustained demand for Malaysia, leading to the continuation of the trade surplus. The following part of our presentation is about chart 2 and how it helps us to understand more about domestic export and re-export. Domestic export, it remains the major component, like normally 75% to 85% of the total export. They illustrate the flow of products that are made, processed significantly in Malaysia, such as finished E&E goods and commodities. In general, their trend follow the overall trade patterns, increasing considerably in 2021 to 2022 and decreasing 2023. On the other hand, re-export products are those that are of foreign origin but are passing through Malaysia, which is a sign that are a regional trade and logistics hub. Although their share is small compared to domestic export, sometimes shown in double-digit growth, while the latter has only a single-digit growth. From this separation, we can tell that Malaysia is turning into a logistic and transshipment center of the most valuable components, especially the global supply chains are being restructured. Our prediction for this 2025, we expect re-export to keep their lead over domestic export in terms of the growth rate. Thus, Malaysia remains a hub for regional distribution and assembly in the tech industry that is recovering. Let's analyze the chart T. It import by end use, which is the import by end use. This tells what Malaysia is buying, categorized into three groups. The first one is the intermediate goods, which is the largest share. These are the raw materials and components used by our factories. Their trend is our manufacturing sector's health check. They soared in 2021 until 2022 to feed the E&E export boom. The next one is the capital goods, which is the key indicator. These are machinery and equipment used for the long-term investment and expansion. Their sustained growth indicates strong business confidence. And the last one is the consumption goods, where these are finished products for household use, reflecting domestic consumer spending. Based on this graph, it is clearly seen that the sector contributing the most to Malaysia's export from January to September 2025 is the electrical and electronic product sector. With a value of around 500 billion, it surpassed other sectors. This sector impact the increase in the country's GDP because exports are one of the important components in GDP calculation. As this electrical and electronic product sector grow, it indirectly increases net export, attract foreign investors and create job opportunities and stimulates supporting industry. Therefore, the electrical and electronic sector becomes a key driver of Malaysia's economic growth. For the sector with the highest import, electrical and electronic products amounted to around Rm 420 billion compared to other sectors such as machinery and equipment value at about Rm 100 billion and petroleum around Rm 90 billion. Because this sector is the highest, it impacts the local economy by indicating a high dependence on foreign technology components. And we move on to the main export destination. As we can see, the country with the highest export is Singapore, with a total of around Rm 180 billion. This is said to be because Singapore is a traditional trading partner and a regional distribution hub. Next, the second highest is the United States, with export totaling around Rm 170 billion. It is because the United States has a large market for technology products and commodities. By knowing these main export destinations, we can see that it has an impact on trade policy, such as encouraging Malaysia to maintain stable diplomatic relations and trade agreements. As to the main import sources in 2025, the country from which we import the most is China, with a value of around Rm 240 billion. This is because China is the main supplier of manufactured goods and technology. Next are Singapore and Taiwan, with a value of around Rm 120 billion each. This is because they are centers of logistics and technology. Lastly, the United States and Japan. The country imports many technological goods from them because they are supplier of high-tech equipment. As a result, the impact on the local industry is to increase competitiveness through access to foreign technology, but it can put pressure on local producers if there is no protection on incentive. We continue by looking at trade with FTA countries within ASEAN. As we know, Malaysia is active in the Asian Free Trade Agreement AFTA and also participate in SAFTA with China and other Asian countries. Because Malaysia is active in FTAs, our country is able to reduce tariff and trade barriers, which can facilitate export and import. Similarly, it can also enhance regional economic integration and opportunities for cross-investment. And finally, it can support the growth of SMEs through wide market access and lower operating costs. Lastly, before I end this video, I will explain the export by step. According to official data, Penang recorded the highest export with a value of more than Rm 10.7 billion, followed by Johor, Selangor and Perak. However, states such as the Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur, Kedah and Sarawak recorded a decline in export. Thus, there are regional economic differences, with industry states like Penang and Johor being more advanced in the E&E and manufacturing sectors. Meanwhile, other states may rely on commodities or have export infrastructure.
Thank you.